Some people feel most alive in quiet rooms, not because they are lonely, not because they are afraid of the world, but because silence lets them breathe. When the door closes and the noise fades, something inside them settles. Their shoulders drop, their breathing slows, their thoughts stop racing. They don't feel the need to escape their own company. They don't need constant stimulation to feel real. They feel real when nothing is demanding their attention. If you've ever felt relief when plans were canceled, not disappointment. If staying home feels like exhaling after holding your breath all day, this isn't about being antisocial. It's about your nervous system finally feeling safe. To the outside world, this preference can look confusing. People say things like, "Don't you get bored? You should go out more. Life is happening out there." But what if life is happening inside too? What if staying home is not about avoidance, but about alignment? Psychology shows us that different nervous systems need different environments to feel regulated. Some nervous systems come alive in movement, crowds, and novelty. Others calm down in predictability, quiet, and familiarity. Neither is wrong, but society often praises only one. People who love staying at home are frequently misunderstood. They are labeled as antisocial, lazy, unmotivated, or withdrawn. But psychology tells a very different story. For many of these individuals, home is not a hiding place. It is a sanctuary. It is the one place where their body does not have to stay alert, where they are not reading the room, not adjusting their tone, not monitoring how they are being perceived. Outside the home, there is constant information, faces to interpret, voices to match, energy to manage. For some people, this is exciting. For others, it is exhausting. People who love staying at home often process more than they show. Their nervous system takes in subtle details, shifts in mood, changes in tone, unspoken expectations. For some people, the outside world feels like a room where the volume is always too loud. Home is the place where they finally get to turn it down, not to escape life, but to hear themselves think. These individuals often have very active inner worlds. When they are alone, their minds do not go quiet. They become richer. Ideas connect, emotions untangle, memories surface and make sense. They don't need constant conversation to feel engaged. They feel engaged when their internal world has space to move. Psychologists sometimes describe this as high internal self-presence, the ability to feel grounded within oneself without needing external validation. They can sit in silence and still feel fulfilled. They can enjoy stillness without restlessness. This is not emotional withdrawal. It is emotional self-sufficiency. Many people who now love staying at home did not always feel this way. Earlier in life, some of them tried to live louder lives. They went out often. They said yes to everything. They tried to match the energy around them, and slowly their body responded, not with words, but with signal. Exhaustion that didn't improve with sleep, a sense of being drained after social events, relief when plans were canceled. This wasn't disinterest, it was information. For some people, stimulation feels energizing. For others, it feels overwhelming. Their system reacts faster and more intensely, so it seeks balance. Home offers something rare: control. Control over sound, control over pace, control over interaction, and control creates safety. This does not mean these individuals dislike people. It means they relate to people differently. They give their energy carefully. They prefer depth over frequency, presence over performance. They may have fewer relationships, but those relationships tend to be more meaningful. They listen deeply. They notice details. They remember how people feel, not just what they say. For some people, loving home is not just preference. It is protection, not from people, but from chaos. Many grew up in environments that felt unpredictable. Emotions shifted without warning. Rules changed without explanation. Safety depended on mood. In those environments, the nervous system learned something early. Quiet equals safety. Familiarity equals stability. So later in life, the body seeks what it knows how to trust. This doesn't always mean trauma. Sometimes it simply means sensitivity that was never understood. Home becomes the place where the body finally stops bracing, where it doesn't have to prepare for impact, where it can just exist. Still, the world often mislabels these people. They are told they are missing out, that they are wasting their lives, that they should be more social. But a meaningful life does not have to be loud to be full. Many thinkers, writers, artists, and innovators did their deepest work in solitude. They were not disconnected from life. They were deeply engaged with it internally. Loving home does not mean avoiding life. It means choosing a pace where life can actually be felt. Calm is often mistaken for emptiness, but calm does not mean nothing is happening. It means something finally has room to settle. Inside that calm, emotions become clearer, thoughts become more organized, values become stronger. Of course, not everyone who loves staying home is the same. For some, it is preference. For others, recovery. For others, self-discovery. And for some, healing. What matters is intention. If staying home brings peace, clarity, and balance, it is not a problem. It is regulation. The problem is forcing a nervous system to live in environments that constantly overwhelm it. A life that looks full from the outside can feel empty inside, and a life that looks quiet from the outside can feel deeply rich. So if you love staying at home, ask yourself this: do I feel grounded here? Do I feel more like myself here? Do I feel less pressure to perform? If the answer is yes, then you are not missing out. You are listening to what your body needs, listening to what your mind enjoys, listening to a rhythm that actually fits you. Fulfillment is not measured by how busy your life looks. It is measured by how safe your body feels living it. And for some people, safety does not live in crowds, noise, or constant motion. It lives in quiet rooms, familiar walls, and the freedom to exist without performing. That is not weakness. That is regulation. And regulation is wisdom. Because a regulated nervous system does not chase noise to feel alive. It does not confuse intensity with meaning. It does not mistake stimulation for fulfillment. A regulated nervous system knows when enough is enough. People who choose quiet often learned this through experience, through burnout, through exhaustion, through ignoring signals until the body spoke louder. Choosing home became an act of listening. Listening instead of pushing. Listening instead of proving. Listening instead of performing. This is not avoidance. Avoidance says, I can't handle this. Regulation says, I know what I need, and that distinction changes everything. Some people are not built to live at maximum volume. They are built to live at maximum depth. Depth requires space. Depth requires slowness. Depth requires silence. Stillness is not emptiness. Stillness is clarity. When the noise fades, the body speaks. And what it often says is simple. Slow down. Come back. Stay where you can breathe. This is not a smaller life. It is a truer one. A life lived at the right volume is not less meaningful. It is more honest. More honest means less forced. Less forcing yourself into places where your body tightens. Less forcing conversations when your energy is already low. Less forcing a version of yourself that looks good on the outside but feels exhausting on the inside. When you stop forcing, you start noticing subtle shifts. How your breathing changes in quiet. How your thoughts slow down when nothing is demanding you. How your body feels lighter when you are not performing for anyone. This is often when people realize how much of their life was spent managing stimulation instead of actually experiencing it. Quiet gives you access to yourself, not the version shaped by expectations, but the version that exists underneath all of that. From this place, choices become clearer. You stop saying yes automatically. You stop staying longer than you need to. You stop apologizing for needing space, not because you don't care, but because you finally do. Caring for your nervous system changes how you live. It changes how you relate to people. It changes how you define a good day. A good day is no longer about how much you did. It's about how present you felt while doing it. And presence grows best in environments where the body feels safe enough to soften. So choosing quiet is not closing yourself off from life. It is choosing to meet life without armor. And that choice, again and again, is what slowly turns survival into living.